Okay, I'm gonna be breaking down Spinnin' off of my latest album, 24 Hours. So let's get into it.
Let's find some new sounds to put on this damn thing.
Well, before I get into breaking down the track, I just want to talk about this album, this project a little bit. This was the first batch of songs that came out of my very first 24-hour live stream. Unfortunately, all the footage was lost, so I did it again in order to preserve some sort of documentation record of me making tracks in 24 hours. So that's kind of why I'm making these breakdown videos, because I kind of want to highlight some of these songs since there's no really footage on the making of. I want to talk about the chords. Pretty simple, just like 3 chords. So I'm going from D major to D flat minor or C sharp minor. 9, these are all 9 chords. And then I just go up to F sharp minor 9. And then back to the whole loop. So that's sort of this A section chord progression. And for the piano sound, I'm using Lab Soft Piano. Lab Soft Piano is one of my go-to piano sounds. I just like it a lot. I'm going to be soloing things and just adding them in because there's a little bit more going on in this track. So I just want to bring in everything at one at a time. Let's just kind of go over the bass. So the interesting thing about this bass is because I'm playing a B in the bass over a D major 9, it becomes a B minor 11th chord, which I didn't even realize until just now. So that's the cool thing about having sort of your piano part and your bass part separate. You don't have to play the root note in the piano or whatever part of the song is playing the chords, because the bass can usually handle that. So in the piano, again, we're doing this D major, and then with the bass, turns into the B minor 11th, which has a little bit more fullness to the sound. And I just kind of was going up octaves and fifths for sort of the ends of some of these bars, because I liked the tones of the bass, and especially this G sharp. Yeah, I just love the tone of that bass. So for the bass sound, I'm using Moto Bass 2. This is the violin bass. And just the kind of the main thing I'm doing is just having this muting turned up like pretty much all the way. That's what kind of gives it that plucky sort of, I don't know, it just gives it this sound. And I like that. And then again, the bass lane to make it sort of a little bit more wide. Okay, so now we can go, I believe these are just strings. Yes. So I'm actually using these Spitfire strings, and then it's just a simple melody. Sorry, my voice is all fucked up because I'm sick, but it's a simple melody, and I'm just doing octaves, just to add more sounds, more ear candy. And then this is another string playing a different little melody. So the strings by themselves sound like this. So I think I remember starting off with the drums. So we'll just talk about the drums for a little bit. So I'm using Addictive Drums 2 for the drums. These are all Addictive Drums 2 presets I created. These are all on my Patreon. You don't have to subscribe. You can just buy the preset pack. These will work regardless if you have all the drum sets or not. If you don't have all the drum sets, you can swap in, a drum sound that you have or a drum that you have with one of the ones that you don't have. So you can use my, how I programmed and processed the volume envelope, so on and so forth. But yeah, so check that out. And there is a trial version of it, so you can try like a couple of the presets without buying the pack. But so yeah, Addictive Drums 2. This is my preset Signs. And then I'm running it through the drum bus. You can look at my settings here. It's just a little dampening. I'm shorting the transients. And then I'm using the Wolf compressor. This kind of really brings a lot of heavy lifting. I'm really compressing the fuck out of this. Yeah, so that's kind of the drum sound. And then I kind of have a simple pattern. It's basically this pattern the whole time with a little fill at the end. The last sort of element to this intro section is this little synth line on the top. I don't know, I was just trying to make this section feel full, so I was adding a lot of stuff to it. Simple little melody. And then the section repeats, and then I add this little botted kind of sporadic little melody, more like ear candy. It's more just supposed to be like ear candy. This is Sky Keys again. This is the Questions preset. Just random like little blips, just to add some ear candy. And before I show this, I totally change up the section here. We enter the B sort of section.
I'm surprised I know.
This is during the verses. And I'm still playing in the same key here. So I'm doing this, I have this F sharp minor here, going to C sharp minor, and then we're just going D major to this E major. And then I'm kind of doing this little walk down. I just thought it was kind of nice. And then it leads nicely into the C sharp minor 9 here. I'm going, this is what I like to hear. Leads nicely into the next chord. Just a little bit of passing information, if you will, for the chords here. I just need to switch it up, and I'm switching up the bass line too. I'm not going up octaves as much. I'm kind of staying pretty low, only going like a fifth of part for the most part, and I'm just bouncing between the roots for the most part, and then walking down. And then it looks like we added some other stuff up here. Let's see, it's this melody line. Oh yeah. This to me is what when I played this little melody, I really started to fall in love with the instrumental. It's just such a unique sound. So the flute does, it sounds like this. A little softer. And then I pan that to the left, and then down here I have this little whatever thing. I don't even know how to pronounce that, but that's what this is. It's that one. And like I was saying, this kind of really, to me, brought this track together. I really liked this sort of melodic idea over this section. And the sounds that I picked, I thought felt very organic, which I was going for. that is pretty much the entire track. It just goes from that first section to this B section, and it kind of repeats again. And I actually end it on the B section. I never go back to that A section, if you will. And the vocals, let's just quickly talk about the vocals. So once again, because of the time constraints, for the most part, these vocals were all like punched in. You can kind of see that with the choppy nature, especially with the verses. And I'm layering the verses. At least I'm layering this first verse here, just to make these sort of punch in sound a little more fluid.
Going down where I've been, where I'm from, staying up to see the sun rise.
Having those layers sort of bridge the gaps makes it feel a little bit more organic. And then for the chorus, I have these high octaves.
I take my time, I know.
Very quiet and pan to the sides.
To the morning.
And again, I'm using my famous, world-renowned vocal rack, vocal processing chain. This is a free download on my Patreon, so feel free to follow me there. I am also giving away the mastering chain that I use on pretty much everything, so you can download those two things. You need FabFilter and Ozone for both of them, but I did create stock versions with Ableton stock effects, so if you don't have those plugins, you can use the stock ones, and the stock ones are just as good. I used to use them before I got FabFilter. With the vocal effects, again, I'm using a little bit of automation, automating the delay on this delay send, standard little half note delay. And then I have the whole vocal group going to this reverb send just a little bit to give it some body. And I'm using Valhalla vintage verb. This is just the default, like when you open it up, this is just what it is. I don't know why I never switched it. I guess it's pretty good, you know? That's pretty cool.
I take my time, I know.
But here's listen to some of the delay. Same thing, pretty subtle. That was a little bit more extreme. I kind of cranked it up more on the automation. But yeah, I'm kind of doing that throughout, just at the end of phrases again to emphasize certain things and to make the vocals just a little bit more exciting. That was Spinnin'. Again, one of my favorite tracks on the album. Feel free to check out all the links in the description. Stream the project. The 48-hour deluxe version is out now, so it contains all the songs I made from the first stream and all the songs I made from the second stream. It's out everywhere. If you want all the drum sounds I used, subscribe to my Patreon and you can download all the drum sounds I used for both albums. I also included these drum breaks because a lot of the drum breaks I did make with Addictive Drums too, so you can check all that stuff out in the link in the description. Follow me on Instagram. I need to plug everything because, you know, I really want, I need this to work, you know what I'm saying? So I plug everything, but I do want to give you guys a lot because I appreciate you all so much. The fact that we're here, I feel like I don't talk about this enough, but the fact that we're here at 40,000 subscribers on YouTube is insane to me. The fact that you all, or some of you, tuned into the live stream is crazy. I really appreciate all that. So yeah, I want to kind of provide a lot. That's why on my Patreon I have that 4-week upload cycle, so I'm uploading something new every week. I start off with a sample pack, then a drum pack, then a virtual instrument, and then an unreleased song with like demos, or an unreleased song with stems, so you can, you know, do whatever you want with that. And I try to give a lot of free stuff, so yeah, download all my free stuff. Anyway, that's enough talking. Peace, y'all.